In this video, we are going to learn Class 7 History, Lesson 3rd, the Delhi Sultanate, Part 2nd. Yes, children, in previous session, we are learned Mamluk and Khalji dynasty. In this session, we will learn Tughlaq dynasty. Another one important Delhi Sultanate, Tughlaq dynasty. Yes, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was the son of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Ghiyasuddin, who founded the Tughlaq dynasty. Yes, his real name Ghazi Malik. And who reigned over the Sultanate of Delhi from 1320 to 1325. He also founded the city of Tughlaqabad. After a brief rule of around 4 years, his son Muhammad bin Tughlaq succeeded his throne. Yes, Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a famous ruler of Tughlaq dynasty. In this session, we will learn about ruler and his administrative works and his reforms, especially taxation in the Dovo and the transfer of capital and introduction of token currency. Children, see the map of India. Yes, after the death of his father Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq ascended the throne of Delhi. And he conquered Warangal in present-day Telangana and Malabar and Madurai also. And the areas up to the modern-day southern tip of the Indian state of Karnataka also. In these conquered territories, Tughlaq created a new set of revenue officials to assess the financial aspects of the area. Yes, in this session, the Tughlaq dynasty ruled 1320 to 1413 centuries. Yes, nearly 117 years they were ruled. And there were two powerful sultans had in Tughlaq dynasty, Muhammad bin Tughlaq and the Feroz Shah Tughlaq. Yes, Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a man of knowledge and had an interest in subjects like philosophy, medicine, mathematics, religion, and the languages, especially Persian, Urdu, and Hindustani. In his medieval India, he was a perfect in the humanities of this day. A keen student of Persian poetry, a philosopher trained in logic and Greek metaphysics, with whom scholars feared to argue. A mathematician and lover of science, but he depended on his own judgment and rarely took advice from others, and has also criticized for him his giving of excessive gifts and harsh punishments. So, the historians often refer to Muhammad bin Tughlaq as a mixer of opposites. But he was an intelligent man. He was capable of grasping new ideas with ease. However, he appears to have lacked two important qualities needed by a successful ruler: practical judgment and common sense. He introduced some radical administrative and economic reforms, which were far ahead of the time but proved to be disastrous. Yes, taxation of the Doab also. Here, Doab means the land between converging rivers, especially the rich alluvial area between the Ganga and the Yamuna rivers. See the picture? In between two rivers, found that area, the land is called Doab. It made a fertile land. It is one of the fertile land suitable for cultivating, especially the food grains. Yes, Muhammad bin Tughlaq increased the tax in the Doab region. This turned out to be major mistake. And heavy taxation in the Doab. Yes, in the beginning of his reign, and the Sultan increased the rate of taxes in the Doab. because it was fertile area and located between the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers. And the water resource also abundantly found here. And the taxes were increased on account of the following reasons. First one, the Sultan wanted to raise a strong army for conquest because the Mongols, especially the Mongols, frequently attacked India. So he strengthened his army. And second one, the people of the world were rich and were in a position to pay the increased taxes. Yes, this turned out to be a major mistake. The farmers were reeling from a terrible famine in the region, the Doab region. Despite this, the royal officers ruthlessly collected taxes. The farmers escaped to the harassment. So, the peasants were leave their lands and flee. Muhammad was forced to withdraw his orders and bring the farmers back to work on their lands. But then it was too late, as much of the land had become barren. Next, shifting of the capital. Yes, Muhammad's idea of shifting the capital from Delhi to Devagiri or Daulatabad in Deccan was perhaps his greatest mistake. The idea itself was a sound one because Daulatabad was centrally located and it would have been easier to control the vast empire from there. In another one reason, the foreign invaders, especially the Mongols, were frequently attacked. Yes, the manner in which it was implemented caused immense hardships for the people. But he not only moved the government, he ordered the entire population of Delhi moved to Daulatabad. In this journey, thousands of people were died, and it found difficult to settle in the new city. And another one reason, the Mongols in the meantime started attacking the empire's borders once again. See the picture. It was the fort of Daglagabad. Yes, Ghiyasuddin Daglag built the massive Daglagabad fort in Delhi in 1322 CE. According to legend, the construction of this fort became the cause of the bitter fight between Ghiyasuddin Daglag and the famous Sufi saint Nizamuddin Auliya. It is said that Ghiyasuddin was so obsessed with completing the fort that he ordered all the laborers in Delhi to work only on his fort. Yes, as the result of this order, work on the Bawoli. Here, Bawoli means well, in the digging the well. The constructing work was stopped by Nizamuddin Auliya. This angered the saint, he cursed the city, Ya Rahi Ujjar, Ya Basi Gujjar. It meaning the place would either be uninhabited or only the Gujars would live there. Here Gujars mean nomads. Yes, Ghiyasuddin Daglag died a few years after. The Daglagabad abandoned soon after in 1327 CE. The nomadic Gujars came to occupy the fort, thus appearing the fulfill Auliya's curse. Next, introduction of new coinage system. The Muhammad bin Daglag introduced new coinage, token currency. To improve the finances of his empire, Muhammad introduced the system of token currency. Yes, wherein copper coins of the same value as that of the gold and silver coins were issued. However, as copper was easily available, so the people began to mint their own coins and there was no way to distinguish the fake coins from the real ones. Yes, the value of the currency fell and there was considerable confusion in the market. So he ordered. Muhammad was forced to recall the coins after 4 years and replace them with gold and silver ones. This was an enormous loss to the state's treasury. Yes, this also a greatest mistake for Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Taimur. Yes, gradually the Tughlaq dynasty came to be an end. Okay, this time he came, who was Mongol from Samarkand in Central Asia. Yes, and the descendant of Genghis Khan. He dealt the final blow to the Tughlaqs. The loot the riches of India. Taimur marched to Delhi with a huge army and captured the city after a bloody battle. After the battle, the Taimur was captured the Delhi throne. Yes, Taimur left behind one of his officers, Syed Kisir Khan, who later proclaimed himself as a Sultan of Delhi. Yes, however, the Taimur attacked Delhi in December 1398 CE. The ruler of Delhi at this time was Nazaruddin Muhammad Shah Tughlaq. Yes, he was weak. The two armies met the outskirts of Delhi. The Tughlaq's army was much larger than Taimur's and was led by the line of huge armed war elephants. The sight of the elephants alarmed even Taimur's battle hardened soldiers. But the Taimur countered this threat by sending camels with attacks of burning hay tied to their backs straight at the elephants. The elephants panicked and ran back, causing a stampede in which many of Tughlaq's soldiers were died. And the Taimur took advantage of the confusion to defeat the Tughlaq's army and he entered to Delhi and captured the throne. He blunted and looted Delhi for several days and then left with his treasures for Samarkand. Yes, thus the Syed Kisir Khan captured the throne and who he later proclaimed as Sultan of Delhi. Children, in this session over, in next class, upcoming classes, we will learn Syed dynasty and Lodi dynasty. Okay, thank you.